Good morning, it's day 23 and my morning introduction has been done from the shelter because it's raining. Yesterday was okay. Unfortunately, I am having a few issues with the tendon in my leg. I think that's what it is, so I took it really easy. Yeah, it was an okay day. There was some nice trails, there was some scrambling with a lot of deadfall going under and around and through, and the last 4K was pretty bad. And the exciting thing yesterday was I saw a snake. It was only a couple of meters from the shelter, but it was a tiger snake, only a little one, only about a meter long. Had Kaz in the shelter again last night, and I spent most of my time when I arrived. There's a beautiful stream, so I washed my socks and just sat by the river chilling out for ages. And today it is raining, but the forecast is meant to be clearing, and 20k to the first shelter, and I'll see how my leg is feeling, possibly another 20 to the one afterwards, or I just stop at the shelter. So hopefully it'll be a clearer day later on. But quick break in the rain, going over the bridge. So I sat on those rocks for ages yesterday, staring into the rapids, eating, snacking. Right, first part of the track is on the road, so hopefully it's not as wide a road as that last one, because it wasn't very interesting because you couldn't see the vegetation. Well, apart from the snake, that made it interesting. Alrighty. Had a hill already. It's more hills than yesterday combined, I think. Today has some little hills, but nothing major. So the whole, if I do the whole 40k, it's only 580 meters of vertical elevation. So not a overly hilly day. As per the forecast, it's cleared up, blue sky at the moment. There's a couple of clouds lower down, but I've taken off all my wet weather kit, and on this wide road, by the map, I think we're on it for 10 kilometres of wide road. Too far away to see the vegetation. Yeah, so it's just daydream, try and zone out and just churn out the miles as opposed to enjoying. I mean, it is, the vegetation is still pretty, but from a distance you don't see much variety, so it's just part of it. Not a lot to keep you occupied on these long road walks. I just had a leaving the house, did I leave the oven on moment. I suddenly thought, did I bring my lunch bag? Because I put it on the table when I was taking out my snacks, but I had to stop and go into my pack and double check I did have it. I just had visions of it laying on the table back in the shelter. One thing I don't think I've mentioned is I am keeping my food in smell-proof Ziploc bags. I got them through Amazon. They're called smelly bags, and I'm not sure if it's just there haven't been mice, but so far nothing's come near my gear. And I have my food down the very bottom is my meals, dinners and snacks for the rest of the time, and then my top bag at the top of my pack is my lunch and extra snacks for the day that aren't fitting in my snack pocket. And both of those are the smell-proof bags. Well, I mean, it is nice. The water's glistening on everything with the sun now up. And, yeah. I mean, the roads aren't bad. It's just what you make of them. They're not as fun as single track, but they have the other attractions that you can... Basically, you don't have to concentrate on where you're going. You can just drift off. And you go a bit faster, though not today. My foot is... I can feel it. Well, as I say, I think it's the tendon above the foot. I can feel it. But the key thing I'm watching for is that it's not getting worse. and I would expect on a long road it'll walk like this to aggravate it. So we'll see in another 8 kilometres of this road. Gotta say, if you're going to be stuck on a road for 10 kilometres, this is a good road to have there. It's nice and soft because it's more sand based, but there is a firmer strip in the middle, and visibility is good out each side. So I've actually got something to look at as I'm walking along. So, contrary to what I thought, I'm actually quite enjoying this. The smooth track suddenly got rough. There's a bridge here, but it's blocked off so that the vehicles can't use it, and new culvert in place instead. So there must be safety issues. And it got rough for a little while through the stream. Now it looks like we're going to go back to a nice road again. Oh, excitement! It's an intersection. We stay on Maron as opposed to Wimpy. Kangaroo just jumped across the road in front of me. Unfortunately, I was looking down, so I only saw it as it was... Oh, there we go. Hey! Have to wander a bit off the road to get the flowers. Sun's starting to get some heat in it. I have to stop and put some sunscreen on. I thought I'd be using a tube of sunscreen every section, but I'm still on my first sunscreen and it's got probably only used about a quarter of it. It's definitely been a lot wetter and cloudier than I was expecting, but today's lovely. These are neat. These are what grow under the puddles, and so when the puddles dry up, this is what's left. They come in different colours. Some bright red there as well. Patch of little purple flowers. Just one little patch of purple flowers. There's some variety when we go into patches of bush, which has only been a couple. We change from white sand to back to the orange clay. Ooh, it's a little shower just came through and I don't see the blue sky anymore. Uh-oh. Yay, we leave this road. According to the map, we're on a track from here. However, that doesn't look like a track, that looks like another road. And it's really interesting on the map, it's got this green corridor, and that's what we are following for a while. Anyway, so I'm at the halfway point to the first shelter and on another road. Nice panorama shot. Actually see quite a way over there. We're slowly climbing a hill, pretty gently. There's more of these pink flowers. There's a pretty intense patch of flowers. So we've got the whites, then we've got the orange, and we've got these pink ones, and then we've got these pink ones. So these are these pink ones, and then we've got these. And then we've got these white ones. And then we've got these orange ones. And these purple ones. Big concentration in here. That's just a little patch here. And off this road, is it single track? Is it? That looks very much like single track. Woohoo! Looks like very wet single track. Keep my feet dry so far. Alright. Yay! Alright, I'm just going to get my feet wet. I'm not going to go around the side of all the puddles. Maybe wet, but it's pretty along here. Lots and lots of flowers. Lots of water. I knew that we were going to have a lot of this after the hut. Didn't think we'd have it before the hut, but there it is. They're not deep. Wow, opens up a lot. It's pretty cool. Looking out to the side. We're heading for Mount Chance, but we're still too far away to see it yet. Got another 7k, I think. Long bit underwater. It's raining. It started raining when I was in the middle of quite a long puddle. I had to try and rush through to get somewhere I could put my pack down in the dry so I could get my gears back on. Temperature's dropped quite a bit too, but don't think it's going to rain for too long. I think it's going to clear again slightly. 5 minutes constantly in the water. This is a long stretch. Ooh, that rain's starting to really come down now. Up in the forest now. Dry feet for a little bit. Not dry anything else. This is beautiful coming through here. Just, oh, the flowers. Absolutely gorgeous. So I've come from, getting into an area with some big rocks. Climbing steadily. Yay, it stopped raining. That was half an hour of rain, and decent rain too, not the usual very light that we've been having. And the sun is trying to break through the clouds, but don't think it's going to succeed. So much for my weather forecast, no rain. I like these ones. Make the most of the break in the rain. That rock and the tree, well, I guess it's a dead tree, but it sure stands out. This flower, it's grown right in the middle of the rock. I'm really enjoying this. Basically, ever since we got off the road and onto the single track, had the good variety across the plains. And now going through here, there's rocky bits and non-rocky bits and flat bits and different vegetation. It is beautiful. Final bit of splish splashing before the shelter. And I think that rock dome up there, I think that's Mount Chance. Very generous with the word mount. That's random. So you got this sandy soil, and then all of a sudden you got these big chunky rocks. Almost looks like someone's brought in a couple of truckloads of rocks in here. Weird. Right, a little bit of climbing up to the shelter. Oh, this is awkward to walk on. Yeah, it's just this one area. Oh, look at the colour of these fungi. It's pretty bright. Here's another one. There's a bigger one. There we go. Cool. Alright, so these rocks, now they just stop. It's just this one little patch. And then back to the normal path. Hey, look at that. It's bright crimson colour. Cool. One more over here. Hey, turn off to the shelter. I think the biggest hill of the day has been to climb up to the shelter. That's Mount Chance shelter, and look at that. That's that big rock I pointed out. So there's a track to the summit, so I am going to go and head up, have a look while I'm here. Finally saw a lizard. Disappeared into that hole. I got a good sighting of it. I'm guessing we just climb straight up. Nearly there. At the top, I'm going to have to make this 360 pretty quick because it's about to rain again. That's where I've come from. Ah, the rain's coming! Definitely worth coming up here. Gorgeous view. Yeah. Gorgeous. Alright. And shelter's down there. And I'm going down. Alright, it was raining quite heavily while I was eating my lunch. Quite nice to be in the shelter while that rain was going on. It's stopped for now. My leg, there's been no change in my leg. It's not getting any worse. And there's been a few times I haven't even noticed it. So I am pushing on to the next shelter, 20 kilometres over the Pingaroo, something like that, plains. So it's going to be wet feet for a lot of it, from what I've heard. So, but it should be pretty. Right, back onto the track. And there's actually sun and some blue sky. Don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm enjoying the sun. Haven't seen many beetles. It's going pretty fast. Out of the forest and back into the wet. My feet were feeling quite nice, but now they get another soak. Ew. Haven't shown these today. They're cute. I like the colouring on them. Oh, this track's lovely. It's actually dry. We're back in the forest again. So it's a dry track with lots and lots of flowers everywhere. It's great. These are much bigger than the normal ones I've seen. Here's my finger. Much, much bigger. Yay, haven't seen these for a while. Silky blue orchid. Saw these when they were little, but now we can see what they turn into. This is the white section. Really is such a beautiful walk along here. Regardless of rain and wet feet, it is gorgeous. I think my sunglasses are a jinx. I can look around and it's blue sky everywhere, so I put my sunglasses on and then less than 2 minutes later it's clouding over again. Grrr. It's an ant swimming. Not quite sure why it's swimming. But, let's get in there slowly. Been in the direct sun for 5 minutes and I couldn't handle the heat anymore. So I've taken my raincoat off, rain skirts off, switched out my hats again. So I can almost guarantee within about 10 minutes it's probably going to rain again. That's right, I'm not in a hurry. I can stop and start again. This hill in front of me is Mount Pingarrup, where the infamous Pingarrup Plains get their name from. I like these ones on the flax. Right, just going around the foot of Mount Pingu. It was 16 minutes after I took off my jacket that it started to rain again. Jacket's back on again, sunglasses are off. That's a good one. Hey. Looks like the volunteers have come through here and trimmed everything back. Well done, volunteers, thank you. Pretty sign with all the flowers around it. Alright, turning onto a road. Don't think we're on the road for long. Oh, it started raining again. I'm not going to do a side trip up Mount Pingarrup. I got lucky up Mount Chance and got a nice view. So, continuing back to lovely single track. And the raincoat's back off again. Got too hot again. Out of the forest and back into the open for a while. My leg has been just, fine. I can feel it every now and again, especially going up hills, but it hasn't been too bad. But for some reason it's just suddenly gone painful now, so I'm slowed right down I may have been going a little bit too fast. Slow right down and see if it comes back right again. Frustrating, very frustrating. Right, another road crossing. This looks like someone's food drop in there. Personally, I would have taken it a little further away from the track because it's pretty obvious, but I hope it's there when they need it. I have experienced what happens when your food drops aren't there. I had a food drop destroyed by foxes in Norway, but thankfully I was able to hitch a ride into the nearest town, which is quite a way away, and do a resupply. This is a bit of change in vegetation, completely different. Thankfully my foot came right, and that pain was actually in a different place. It was actually further down on top of my foot, still connected to the same tendon I'm guessing, but I slowed right down and seems to have just gone back to the original pain. And so I just need to make sure I don't go too fast, and it's hard. Some of the tracks you just want to go. So yeah, I'm just going to potter along for the rest of the day. Back out into the open again. This section's a bit wetter. It's not deep though, they're all just over ankle deep. I haven't been filming all the puddles, but be assured we're still splashing through a lot of water and a lot of puddles. My feet are not dry for more than about 15 minutes when we go up into the bush for a little bit, and then we drop down. This is unusual that we're actually around tall trees and water as well, but hey, it's all part of the variety. There's a cute little seat. Right, still going along, heading down. Now we've got everything at once. Basically, I'm having to step over things into water and ducking to avoid the vegetation. Hey, a bridge. Glad I can keep my feet dry on the bridge. But yeah, I see why there's a bridge. That's probably a little bit too deep for me. From this bridge, it is now 5 kilometres to the shelter. So, given my current speed, probably an hour and a half. We'll see. Depends how wet it is, how overgrown. Might have to revise my time estimate to 2 hours. It's been long stretches of water, mid-shin to just below knee. Slosh, slosh. Handy hint to all the international visitors. If you see a mound like that, it's not a nice place to put your foot while you try and readjust your laces, because you will end up covered in ants. Wouldn't that make a lovely seat? Just the right height. Apart from, knock, knock, here they come. Just hundreds of them racing out. Got a little break from the water. It's interesting, my leg is feeling no worse off now than it was at the start of the day. So at least that 10-minute patch where it hurt, though a slightly different place, it's been pretty good. So I think I can rule out the water puddles being the cause of it. It does hurt very slightly in the deeper puddles, but not much. So it was either the sand, the distance, or having the laces tied up too tight, because I know that often irritates my tendons. So whatever the cause, it is manageable at the moment. We'll see how I feel when I wake up. But tomorrow's a short day, it's only 31, and then it's 10 into Walpole, then a bit of a rest. So if I can keep nursing it along, should be okay. I'm probably only about 500 metres from the shelter, but still water to wade through. That was tiring. That was a couple of 100 metres of just below knee height. So basically the water went from where the trees are all the way to here, and yeah, a bit deeper than it has been. Whew. Wow. That gave the legs a good workout. I've been feeling good energy, but a little bit to recover from that puddle. See a toilet, that means the shelter must be just around the corner. 10 hours 30. Ooh. Felt like a longer day. There you go, full barrel shelter. Looks like it's just me again. And the view, unfortunately, not much. There is a valley down there in grasslands, but you can't see it with all the trees. That's where I'm going tomorrow.